Let's build a bridge out of the good greatness we have in common. No more jail now. No more jail now. No more jail now. No more jail now. Scroll call before the books, before the ledgers.
At Providence St Mel, we believe in the creation of inspired lives produced by the miracles of our word. We are not frightened by the challenges of reality, but believe that we can change our conception of this world and our place within it.
I was informed that the school was on close. In that conversation, I remember I had to kind of restrain myself because I knew the next thing out of my mouth would determine whether we would stay open or at least we would try to stay open. And very politely and not so politely, I indicated that I had not been informed of it. I didn't agree with it. I was not going to have a meeting with the teachers to tell them that that would be my supervisor's job. And since we were going to be closed for the holy holidays, that if something like this was going to be said, it should be after the holidays. We agreed at that moment, but that next week, the information hit the headlines that Providence St Mel was going to close. I guess in a moment of panic, a moment of embarrassment, a moment of saying, you know, why us? You know, we've done everything that we should be doing. No one has prompted us to say that, you know, that we weren't doing the right things. I knew then that I had to at least try to make an effort to keep the school open. It was just that plain to me that you can't teach something and not, you know, and actually go and be in practice. We were always telling children about how hard work pays off. Now it's our time. It was administration time to step up to keep the school open. So it is a private institution operated by this administration and the Board of Trustees. So there's no outside group or some denomination supporting the school. We're 99% black at Providence St Mel, and I guess 70 to 75% of the students come within a 3-mile radius of the school. We serve the students that come here, and at least I think that children who unfortunately economically might not have great opportunities, I think they get a great education. I think we all deserve a piece of the American pie, and we provide that. Education is about having marketable skill to be able to go out and take care of yourself and raise your family. Now, when you don't have that, when you're in our communities, the unemployment is high, the crime is high, the mental health problems are out of control, drugs are rampant. Until we get a handle on those things. But when you look at all those things and put them together, what would you need to reduce those problems? Quality education. And see, people want to dance around it, garden solution, when it really, if we were educating our children, I mean children, our 3- and 4-year-old children, we would have less problems. And I say they're all going to dissipate. But I can assure you, based on our experience my experience of over 40 years, that if you did, you're going to have less problems.
Well, I came to Providence St Mel in the summer of 1996, and I was supposed to just be here for the summer. I had a fall job. I was going to do something else in the fall, but when I came in the summer, there was something about this place that really made me think I was moving from stability to significance. If I stayed and worked really hard, it was so enlightening to me, where I was used to working in the public schools for 17 years, and there was a lot of bureaucracy and a lot of hoops that you had to jump to get decisions made. And when I came to Providence St Mel and had the opportunity to increase student performance, my major goal, according to Mr. Adams, who was the president at the time, and the Board of Trustees, was to raise the bar and get the students into really amazing schools. They wanted the test scores to be higher, and they challenged me to really push hard in those areas. And I was really blessed that the alignment of what I did my entire career, 17 years in the public school, I spent most of my time really concentrating on student performance and learning all kinds of strategies to increase student performance in professional development opportunities and training expertise that I was in. And it was really exciting to me that here we had a private school and they just wanted me to put it together, and I said, well, in order for me to be able to put it together, what kind of system do I have to go through to get it approved? And they said, oh, you just have to bring it back to us and bring it to Mr. Adams and then bring it to the Board of Trustees, and if we're okay with it, we'll go with it. And it was very exciting to have a group of people that engaged in what we were doing at Providence St Mel. My biggest responsibility was to put a transformation plan in place, again, to make sure the students were gaining opportunities far beyond the norm. And I had a really great faculty and staff to begin that process with, and have developed an amazing leadership team in the early years to help me continue that charge. And I'm so happy to say that not only are 100% of our students being accepted to four-year colleges and universities, but for the past, since 2002, over half of the class have been accepted to Tier 1 and Ivy League schools. And last summer, last year's class of 2014, we had 93% of that particular class accepted to Tier 1 Ivy League schools.
I am Adrienne Hawkins Turner. I am the Academic Dean of Providence St Mel School. That means that I am the overseer for all things academic with students and testing for grades pre-K 3 through 12th grade. When we look at our students' ACT scores at the end of the school year, we start making plans for what we're going to do with our curriculum in total for the following year. When we return in the fall, our first week is orientation, and we spend several days actually looking at the data. But we look at each individual student so that we can see what their strength areas are and how we can improve those, because we want them all to excel. But we specifically look at the lower areas, the weaker areas for each individual student. And what we have is an RTI, or Responsive Intervention Program here. It's an after-school tutoring, and we are dedicating specific days for students to be able to come in and get some additional help after school based on what their ACT score says they need help with.
My name is Aletha Wilson. I am an graduate from 1987, class valedictorian, Providence St Mel. Very proud alum, and I ended back here at Providence St Mel, my home, in an effort to come back and give back 1 year. 1 year because I was so grateful and proud of what Providence St Mel had done for me as a student, into my college years, into my profession. I loved it and wanted to give back. Came back to give back 1 year. 1 year turned into 5 years at Providence St Mel. I am the Director of Admissions and Financial Aid and Scholarships at Providence St Mel. My goal is to really try to help families see and understand the benefit of having a PSM education. It is an extraordinary institution, and extraordinary in the sense that everything is capsulized under this roof. What I love and what's different now that has impressed me so is that all of the programs have tripled. Actually, they have increased tenfold, as I said earlier. Definitely academics, you have the ACT scores, you have the college prep curriculum, but then you add on the fact that you have the choir, chamber choir, concert choir, bands, you can do it all here. Art, our students are winning in academics, they're winning in fine arts, and they're even winning in sports.
Right. Some of these students have made it this level because they came through our middle school program, or they've been in other choirs. They have to prove themselves that they need to learn a certain amount of music literature, meaning be able to read music, to understand music, to perform music. So all of them have been in other choirs, passed out of various theory workbooks and things like that, proven that they can read music, proven that they can sing music, and like Bagui said, be able to express the music. So all of them are able really to be independent musicians, which they proved this morning. They all worked on some music their own and they came together and were able to perform it because they are a certain level of musician.
Well, throughout chamber choir, just being able to take the trips was definitely a plus. Last year we went on a choir tour to Monaco, and that literally was the best experience ever for our choir, mainly because even though we're a choir, what it takes to be a choir requires an amount of personal connection. And I think genuinely when we went on that choir trip, the personal connection aspect of singing definitely came through. So we weren't able to just sing notes on a page. It wasn't just that, we were all connected. And I think that's the best part about going on trips and things, as well as being able to prove ourselves that even though we're a small black school on the west side, that, you know, our choir has got it. Like, we've got some of the best choir education due to, you know, Dr. Barr and Mr. Ward that's in the city of Chicago. And it's just a beautiful thing.
This is my 18th year at Providence St Mel, and I am in charge of making sure that our students follow the rules here. Each student gets a copy of the student handbook. I also visit classrooms. I go through advisories. We go through the handbook, you know, with the students during the first week. I coordinate activities with the students, anything student related. I work on that. I'm constantly in the halls, in the classrooms to make sure that our students are on task. So I may go in and do an on-task analysis to make sure that our students are on task and focused on learning.
I came here in the 4th grade and now I'm in 7th grade, and the experience here is very different than you would in a lot of other schools. In a lot of other schools, you're not as motivated as you are here to do well and to be successful.
The experience has been unbelievably great. I mean, there are so many opportunities that the school offers. Just in these 3 years, I've become president last year of our sophomore class. I'm a student ambassador, and that allows me to speak on different occasions kind of like this. I have been selected in the National Honor Society, and it's just so many different things that the schools offer that I love. And the fact that the teachers and the students care, we're all a community, we're a family. I consider Providence St Mel a second home, because the fact that the teachers, in most other schools, teachers don't take the time out to individually strengthen the abilities of their students.
We consistently follow our goal. The purpose of this school is to put students in the best colleges in the United States. We do that. We do it because we have the best teachers. No school in this country or anywhere in the world can operate unless they have great teachers. We have great teachers. We have great administrators. We have people that are concerned about the welfare of our students, of our children that we serve. I think that would be the main foundation of why we do so well.